Before we deploy this feed, a quick request. If you value this kind of deep dive forensic analysis of the unseen world, please consider subscribing to our channel. And in the comments below, let us know what part of the world you're watching from. We read everyone. Now, access granted. In the dense, suffocating humidity of Gaza City, brilliance festered. It lived in a small concrete room above a falafel shop, powered by a sputtering diesel generator that stained the air with its metallic cough. This was the world of Khalil al-Hazari. At 22, Khalil was not a fighter. He was not political. He was, quite simply, a ghost, a digital entity who found more freedom in the labyrinth of the dark web than he ever had in the 1.8 million person cage of the Gaza Strip. His setup was a monument to improvisation. 3 mismatched monitors, scarred by screen burn, glowed in the perpetual twilight of his room. A tangle of spliced Ethernet cables snaked across the floor, drawing internet from a hacked municipal feed. Khalil existed in code. While the world outside argued over borders and blockades, he navigated global data streams. He wasn't driven by ideology, but by a consuming, abrasive boredom. He was a concert pianist, trapped in a room with only a broken toy keyboard. On a Tuesday in May, the boredom became unbearable. The electricity had been out for 16 hours. The whine of drones was a constant, maddening ambient noise. He felt the concrete walls pressing in. He needed to do something, not for Hamas, whom he viewed as provincial thugs, nor for Fatah, whom he saw as corrupt. He needed to do it for himself, to prove he existed. His target was symbolic, not strategic. A server cluster in Kiryat Malachi, belonging to an IDF logistics brigade. It was sloppy. He'd seen the vulnerabilities listed on a private Russian forum. It was supposed to be a simple defacement, a digital graffiti tag to say, "I was here." He slipped past the first firewall using a common SQL injection. Child's play. The second layer was tougher, a heuristic filter. He paused, his fingers hovering. He smiled. He wasn't going to smash the door. He would build a key. He wrote a small polymorphic script, a piece of code that rewrote its own signature every time the system scanned it. It was elegant, almost beautiful. He gained root access in 40 minutes. He didn't deface it. He didn't steal anything. He just sat inside the system, invisible, watching the data packets of a reserve unit's payroll flow by. He was inside. He was out. After 10 minutes, he quietly patched the vulnerability he had used, cleaned his logs, and exited, routing his digital echo through 3 continents before dissolving it in a proxy in Moldova. He leaned back, sweat stinging his eyes, and listened to the generator sputter. He felt nothing. 70 kilometers away, in the chilled, sterile quiet of the Glilot intelligence complex north of Tel Aviv, a red light blinked on a monitor. Analyst Yael Cohen, a 20-year-old lieutenant in Unit 8200, the IDF's elite cyber warfare division, leaned closer. An automated alert had flagged an impossible entry. A ghost. She analyzed the logs. The entry was clean. Too clean. The intruder hadn't just broken in. They had tidied up afterward. "Sigint," she called to her supervisor. "We have a signature, and it's not Hamas." The file landed on the desk of Erez Meri. Erez was not Unit 8200. He was Katsa, a field officer for Mossad, the agency responsible for foreign intelligence and covert action. He worked for Caesarea, the operational branch, but his specialty was cyber psychology. He didn't recruit spies with cash in envelopes. He recruited them with ideas, with leverage, with the careful, surgical application of hope. His office was minimalist, overlooking the concrete sprawl of the Glilot junction. He opened the file. It wasn't a file on a person. It was a file on a style. "They call him Zero," Yael from 8200 explained, her voice tinny over the secure line. "The signature is polymorphic, but the philosophy behind it is consistent. He uses zero-day exploits but never burns them. He patched the vulnerability he used. He's not a state actor. He's not a criminal. He's an artist." Erez was intrigued. Hamas's cyber units were clumsy. They used brute force, purchased malware from Iran or North Korea. This was different. This was talent. And talent in Erez's world was a resource to be cultivated or neutralized. "Find him," Erez said. "I don't want his location. I want his life. I want to know what he eats, what he fears, what he loves. For 3 weeks, the vast surveillance apparatus of 8200, an organization that allegedly monitors every byte of data in the Palestinian territories, focused its colossal weight on finding one man. They didn't look for the hacker, they looked for the art. They cross-referenced the unique coding style with activity on technical forums, with university databases, with dormant social media accounts. They found him. Khalil al-Hazari, top of his class at the Islamic University of Gaza, computer science. Quit his master's degree, no formal affiliation with any militant group. One post on a locked forum from 2 years prior, complaining about the poor quality of a leaked Iranian rootkit. A butcher's tool, he had written. Where is the elegance? But that wasn't the leverage. The leverage was human. Digging into intercepted ISP data and clinic records, they found her, Rasha al-Hazari, his 14-year-old sister. She was suffering from an advanced, degenerative optical disease, a specific form of retinopathy that Gaza's hospitals, crippled by the blockade and internal mismanagement, were hopelessly unequipped to treat. She would be completely blind in less than 6 months. Erez closed the file. He looked at the girl's pixelated photo, taken from an UNRWA registration form. He then looked at Khalil's, the brilliant, frustrated artist. Okay, Erez said to his empty office. I have him. He knew the shape of the barter. He would offer the most potent drug in the Middle East. Not money, not ideology, but escape. He would offer the world in exchange for a war. The hook could not be baited from Israel. The digital scent would be too strong. Khalil was paranoid, skilled, and cynical. He would spot a honey trap from 8200 a mile away. The approach had to come from a place of perceived neutrality, a place of sterile hope. Erez activated a long-dormant asset, a shell corporation in Germany, registered as a philanthropic medical NGO. Ärzte für den Horizont, Doctors for the Horizon. It had a clean website, a Berlin IP address, and a history of small, verifiable donations to clinics in Sudan and Yemen. It was the perfect cover. Erez, now operating as Peter Kraus, a program coordinator for the NGO, crafted the first email. It was sent to a public-facing email address for a small Gaza-based disability rights group, one that Khalil's family had contacted. The email was intentionally bureaucratic. Subject: Case File RH818, Rasha al-Hazari. To whom it may concern, our organization, Ärzte für den Horizont, is reviewing potential candidates for our visionary program, offering pro bono experimental treatment for rare retinopathies. The file of Rasha al-Hazari has been flagged for our consideration. We require direct contact with her primary guardian to assess viability. Security and discretion are paramount. Mit freundlichen Grüßen, Dr. Peter Kraus. The email was forwarded, as Erez knew it would be, to Khalil, the only English speaker and computer-literate member of the family. In his concrete room, Khalil read the email. His heart hammered. He spent 6 hours investigating Ärzte für den Horizont. He traced their IP, clean. He checked their registration, clean. He analyzed the headers of the email. It originated from a server in Berlin, routed cleanly. He found no flaws. It seemed legitimate, but it felt like a miracle. And in Gaza, miracles were just traps you hadn't understood yet. He replied, his tone cautious, technical. To Dr. Kraus, from KH. I am the brother of Rasha. I handle her affairs. What is the nature of this treatment? What do you require? The hook was set. The long, slow game of reeling him in began. Erez, as Peter, was patient. He was the perfect digital pen pal. He was empathetic but professional. He sent medical forms. He arranged a video call, not with himself, but with a real German doctor, a Mossad scion or volunteer, who discussed the medical specifics of the treatment available at the Charité hospital in Berlin. For a month, they talked only medicine. Erez watched Khalil's digital defenses lower, brick by brick. Khalil began to hope. He sent his sister's complete medical history, desperate for help. Then Erez sent the email that would change everything. To KH. From Dr. Kraus. Khalil, we have a problem. The committee has approved Russia. The treatment is funded. However, the German government will not authorize the medical visa. The security situation, your age, the blockade. They see a high risk of asylum claims. The file is closed. Khalil's world collapsed. He wrote back, frantic, "There must be a way. Please." She is losing time. Erez let him wait for 48 hours. He let the despair curdle. Then, Peter replied, "KH, there is, perhaps, one unconventional way. It is not related to our NGO. I have a consultant I use for high-risk logistical problems. He specializes in secure passage. He believes he can get Rasha out, with you as her guardian. But his services are unique. He is not interested in money. He works on barter. He is a security specialist and was impressed by your digital footprint. He has a small problem he thinks you can solve. A consultation. If you are willing, I can connect you. This is highly irregular." Khalil stared at the screen. The trap was finally visible. The clean NGO, the German doctor, the logistics. It was all a sterile hallway leading to this one, dark door. He knew instinctively who Peter and his consultant were. He was being recruited. He looked across the room where Rasha was sitting by the window, trying to read a book, the pages an inch from her face. She was 14. He typed one word, "Connect me." The consultant did not use email. The connection was made through a P2P encrypted chat client, routed through a server in Estonia. Khalil logged in. The username on the other side was simple. E. "Hello, Khalil. Peter speaks highly of you." "Khalil, cut the nonsense. You are not German. And this is not about logistics." E. "No, it's not." "Khalil, what do you want?" E. "You breached an IDF server last month, Kiryat Malachi. It was a beautiful piece of work. You patched the vulnerability. You were polite. We were impressed." A cold dread washed over Khalil. They hadn't just seen him, they had profiled him. The NGO was a complete fabrication, an elaborate stage set built just for him. He was not a discovery, he was a target. "Khalil, I don't know what you're talking about." E. "Don't. We don't have time for it. I am not 8200. I am not here to arrest you. I'm here to offer you a job. You have a skill set we need. You are a scalpel. Your current neighbors, they are butchers." "Khalil, you're Mossad." E. "I'm the man who can get your sister to a hospital in Tel Aviv in 12 hours. The best optical surgeon in the country will be waiting for her. We can save her sight." Khalil felt sick. Tel Aviv, not Berlin. The lie was so deep. "Khalil, in exchange for what?" E. "A demonstration of your skills. We have a problem. Hamas has a new drone program. They are building them underground, using 3D printers and commercial parts smuggled in. Their guidance systems are offline, air-gapped. We can't touch them. But the schematics, they move them. We believe they're stored on a server belonging to a Hamas financier in Istanbul." Khalil, "You want me to hack Hamas?" E. "We want you to retrieve a single file. That's all. Proof of concept. You do this from your room in Gaza, and we will extract you in Russia. Full medical care. A new life." The barter was on the table. Betray his people, or let his sister go blind. Erez knew the Palestinian psyche. Family was paramount. It overrode ideology. It overrode politics. He wasn't asking Khalil to betray Palestine. He was asking him to save Russia. Khalil thought for a long, agonizing hour. He thought about the Hamas checkpoints, the arrogant young men with guns who extorted his father. He thought about the rockets that brought only retribution and rubble. They were not his people. His people were Russia. "Khalil, give me the target IP." E. "Welcome to the team." For 2 days, Khalil did not sleep. He became a digital wraith. The Istanbul server was hardened, but it was hardened against Western attacks. Khalil came at it from the inside, spoofing an IP from a Hamas-friendly IP block in Malaysia, using linguistic tricks in his phishing emails that only a native Arabic speaker would know. He didn't break in. He was invited. He cloned the digital certificate of a trusted Hamas donor and gained access to the file repository. He found the drone schematics. They were encrypted. He didn't have the key. He reported back to Khalil. They're encrypted. AES 256. I can't crack it. We know. We don't need you to. Just get the file. The file itself is the key. We have other assets. Khalil exfiltrated the 500 megabyte file, routing it through a chain of compromised academic servers before dropping it in a secure, anonymous file hosting service. He sent the link to Erez. 3 hours later, the reply came. The package is good. We are green. Be ready to move. The extraction of a high-value asset and his sister from the center of Gaza City is not a simple operation. It is a symphony of logistics, deception, and extreme risk. Erez could not use a military team. It would be an act of war. He couldn't use a frontal approach. He had to use the cracks in the system. The plan was delivered to Khalil in fragments. A UN-marked ambulance will be at the corner of your street in 48 hours. Arrow 3, Allure. It is not a real UN ambulance. It is ours. It will have papers authorizing a medical transfer to an Egyptian hospital for Russia. The papers are real, requisitioned by an asset inside the Palestinian Authority. Khalil's blood ran cold. Ours. Mossad had assets everywhere. The ambulance will take you to the Erez crossing. This is the most dangerous part. The Hamas guards on the Gaza side. They may ask questions. They may want a bribe. Khalil. And if they do, the driver, Hani, is authorized to handle it. You say nothing. You are just a grieving brother. Your sister is asleep. She must be asleep. We are providing a mild sedative for her. It is crucial she does not panic. Khalil. And the Israeli side? The IDF soldiers at the crossing will be from a specific unit. They will see the name Al-Hazari flagged in their system for urgent medical denial. They will be ordered to turn you back. Khalil. What? That's the plan? They will turn you back. The ambulance will be ordered to return to Gaza. But it will break down in the no man's land, the 100-meter stretch between the checkpoints. A black IDF vehicle, a Zeev armored truck, will be dispatched from the Israeli side to assist the stalled UN vehicle. You and Russia will be transferred to the Zeev. Your identities will be erased from the crossing manifest. As far as Hamas knows, you were denied entry. As far as the IDF knows, they were assisting a UN medical case. Only 4 people, including myself, will know the truth. Khalil's hands were shaking. The complexity was terrifying. So many moving parts. The night of the extraction was thick and starless. Khalil gave Rasha the sedative, telling her it was for the pain. She was asleep in minutes. He packed one bag, not with clothes, but with hard drives and his most valuable possession, a custom-built Raspberry Pi loaded with his private toolkit. At 02:58, he heard the low rumble of a diesel engine. He looked out the window. The white ambulance, UN logo stark under the streetlight, was there. He carried Rasha down the stairs. The driver, Hani, was a weathered man in his 50s with dead eyes. He helped Khalil get Rasha onto the gurney inside. The drive to Erez was the longest 30 minutes of Khalil's life. They passed 2 Hamas checkpoints. Hani handled it, barking about a medical emergency, waving the forged PA papers. The young fighters, bored and tired, waved them through. At the Gaza side checkpoint, a Hamas officer was more thorough. He shone a flashlight into the back. "Where are you going?" "Rafah, Egyptian hospital." "Her eyes," Hani said. The officer looked at Khalil. "You." Khalil's heart stopped. "You look nervous." "My sister is sick," Khalil whispered, channeling every ounce of fear he felt. The guard sneered, but the sight of the sleeping, pale girl on the gurney softened him just enough. He waved them on. "May Allah heal her." They crossed into the concrete and wire channel. They reached the Israeli checkpoint. The young IDF soldier took the papers, scanned them. A red light flashed on his screen. "Mr. Arev," the soldier called. He turned back. "Entry denied. Medical file incomplete. Turn around. Go back." Hani argued, as planned. The soldier was firm. Hani got back in the ambulance, put it in reverse, and drove exactly 50 meters back toward Gaza. Then a loud clank and a hiss. The engine died. Hani got out, kicked the tire, and radioed for help. Khalil sat in the back in the dark, next to his sister, stranded between the two most hostile borders on Earth. 2 minutes later, a black wolf-like armored vehicle rolled up. 2 soldiers got out. They didn't speak to Hani. They opened the back of the ambulance. Khalil al-Hazari, one said in perfect, unaccented English. Khalil nodded. "Grab your bag. We'll take her." They transferred Rasha's gurney to the Zaev. Khalil climbed in. The doors sealed with a pneumatic hiss, shutting out the world. Hani, the driver, was gone, disappeared into the night. The Zaev turned and drove, not toward a hospital, but deep into the heart of Israel. Khalil and Rasha were separated. She was taken immediately to Ichilov Hospital in Tel Aviv, where a team was prepped for her surgery. Khalil was driven to a nondescript apartment building in Herzliya Pituach, a wealthy coastal suburb. The apartment was a cage, but a beautiful one. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the Mediterranean. The refrigerator was stocked, the internet was lightning fast, and the front door was locked from the outside. 2 days later, the door opened. Erez Mary walked in. He was not Peter. He was not E. He was tall, mid-40s, with tired eyes and the casual authority of a man who never had to raise his voice. He placed a folder on the marble table. "She's out of surgery," Erez said, no preamble. It was successful. "The doctors are optimistic. She will regain at least 80% of her vision." Khalil sagged against the wall, the tension of a lifetime draining out of him. He wept, silently, for the first time since he was a child. Erez let him. He waited. After a few minutes, he pushed the folder across the table. "Now, we work." Khalil, wiping his face, sat down. "What am I?" "You are zero," Erez replied. "You are an asset of the State of Israel. You are here to help us dismantle the Hamas infrastructure that is killing your people and ours. You are turning me into a traitor." "We are turning you into a surgeon," Erez corrected. "Hamas is a cancer in Gaza, Khalil. You know that. They steal medical supplies. They build tunnels instead of schools. They fire rockets that kill children, on both sides. You are not betraying Palestinians. You are saving them." It was the classic justification, the Katz's recruitment speech. And the worst part was, Khalil agreed with some of it. For the next 6 months, the safe house became the Forge. Khalil was given a new workstation, a server rack that connected directly to Mossad's internal networks. He was no longer just a hacker. He was being weaponized. He was trained in Mossad's proprietary cyber warfare tools. He was taught tradecraft, how to create digital dead drops, how to embed signals in noise traffic, how to build logic bombs that would detonate only when specific criteria were met. Erez was his handler, his only point of contact. He was a jailer, a mentor, a psychologist, and, in a strange way, a friend. He brought Khalil books, philosophy, poetry, shawarma from his favorite place, and, crucially, video updates of Rasha. Khalil watched his sister learn to see again. He watched her describe the color blue for the first time. This was the price of his work, and he paid it gladly. His first major assignment was Project Chimera. Hamas was using a new custom encrypted messaging app for its militant wing, the Qassam Brigades. It was built on open source code but heavily modified. 8200 couldn't crack the encryption. "They want us to find a way in," Erez said. "I can't break the protocol," Khalil said, studying the code. "It's solid." "Don't break it," Erez said. "Give them a gift." Khalil understood. He spent 3 weeks building a patch, a security update. It fixed a real minor bug in the app's user interface, but hidden deep within the compiled code was his Chimera, a keylogger and a remote access tool that would activate only when the user's GPS coordinates matched those of known Hamas command bunkers. The patch was pushed out through a hacked Palestinian app store. Over 400 Hamas operatives downloaded the security update. The next day, Erez and Khalil watched. A map of Gaza lit up. Red dots appeared one by one, showing the real-time locations of Hamas's most secretive commanders. "Welcome," Erez said, placing a hand on Khalil's shoulder. "You've just blinded the enemy." Khalil stared at the dots, each one a man he was helping to kill. He felt a sickening surge of power. Khalil, now zero, was no longer an asset. He was an operator. The apartment in Herzliya was his digital sniper's nest. From his air-conditioned room, overlooking a peaceful blue sea, he waged a one-man war on the organization that controlled the concrete ghetto he once called home. His days took on a grim rhythm. He would wake, exercise on the provided treadmill, and then plug in. Erez would arrive around 10 wands with a list of targets and objectives. They were strategic, not tactical. Mossad wasn't just interested in who, but how. They wanted the infrastructure. His next target was the money. Hamas moved millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, donations funneled through shell charities in Turkey, Qatar, and Malaysia. Khalil's job was to follow the money and, when possible, take it. He became a master of digital misdirection. He didn't steal the money in a way that was obvious. He created sinkholes. A Hamas financier would attempt to transfer $500,000 in Bitcoin from a wallet in Istanbul to one in Gaza. Khalil, having compromised the exchange platform, would insert a man-in-the-middle script. The transfer would appear to fail, citing network congestion. The funds would be bounced, but not back to the original wallet. They would be routed through a mixer and deposited into a cold storage wallet controlled by Mossad. He siphoned off $12 million in 3 months. The Hamas finance ministry was in chaos, convinced their Turkish partners were stealing from them. The internal paranoia he created was more damaging than the loss of the cash. But his greatest weapon was disinformation. Erez came to him one afternoon with a high-priority request. "We have HUMANT," Erez said, using the term for human intelligence. A source on the ground. He says a Qassam unit is moving a new shipment of long-range rockets tonight. They're using civilian trucks. We need the route. Khalil plugged in. Using the access granted by Project Chimera, he located the comms of the specific unit's quartermaster. He watched them plan the route, designed to use civilian-heavy roads to deter an airstrike. "I have it," Khalil said, tracing the route on his monitor. "Good," Erez said. "Now change it." Khalil paused. "Change it how?" "They're planning to go through the Jabalia market. Send them a security alert update. Tell them the market road is compromised, that we have eyes on it. Reroute them down Route 4, the old coastal road. Make it seem like an urgent operational change." Khalil realized what was happening. Route 4 was isolated, empty, a perfect sterile strike zone. He was painting a target. He fabricated the alert. He used the digital voice of the unit's commander, spoofing his credentials perfectly. The order was sent. He watched the reply. The quartermaster confirmed the route change. Khalil logged off. He couldn't watch the rest. 2 hours later, Erez returned. "The target was neutralized," he said quietly. "No civilian casualties. The rockets are gone. You saved lives tonight, Khalil. In Tel Aviv, in Ashkelon, and in Gaza too." Khalil said nothing. He just stared at his blank monitor. He had become intimately familiar with the machinery of destruction. He was the ghost who told the missile where to strike. War, even cyber war, is not sterile. It always, eventually, circles back to the human. Khalil's success had made him Mossad's most valuable asset against Hamas. But it also made him a target, if Hamas ever even suspected his existence. His isolation was total. His only human contact was Erez. He hadn't seen his sister Rasha in person since their arrival. Erez provided videos, but he knew it wasn't the same. The weapon needed maintenance. One day, Erez brought a laptop. "She's at a youth facility, a good one, near Netanya. She thinks she's on a scholarship program. She's learning Hebrew. She's happy, Khalil." He set up a video call. Rasha's face appeared. Her vision was clear. She wasn't squinting. She smiled, a wide, bright smile that he hadn't seen in years. "Khalil, they told me you were working on a big project in Europe. It's so beautiful here. Can you see the trees? I can see them." Khalil fought to keep his voice steady. "I see them, Rasha. They're beautiful. Are you okay?" "I'm better than okay. I'm learning. The doctors are so nice." He talked to her for 30 minutes. He lied about Berlin. He lied about his coding job. He lied about everything except the fact that he missed her. When the call ended, he turned to Erez, his face a mask of cold fury. "You used her," Khalil whispered. "You keep using her, to keep me in this chair." "We saved her," Erez countered, his voice hard. We gave her a life, and you are saving others. This is the price. Don't pretend you are a victim. You are a volunteer." The words hit home. He had agreed. He had taken the barter. The tension between them was broken by an urgent alert, a new threat. Hamas had a new leader in its cyber division, someone good. They had detected and patched the Chimera vulnerability. Khalil's access was gone. "He's found my work," Khalil said, analyzing the new code. "He's purging the system. He's good. He's methodical." "Who is he?" Erez asked. Khalil dug into the digital traces. The new code had a signature, just as his own did. A subtle preference for certain loopholes, a specific way of structuring command lines. He'd seen it before. "Nidal," Khalil whispered, horrified. "Nidal Amer. You know him?" "He was my professor," Khalil said, "at the university. He was the only one I thought was smarter than me." The game had changed. It was no longer a one-sided hunt. It was a duel. The digital war for Gaza became a personal battle between two minds, Khalil Zero versus Professor Nidal Amer. It was the student versus the master. Nidal was old school. He didn't trust complex systems. He was purging Hamas networks, forcing operatives to use one-time pads and hardline communication. He was building a digital fortress. Khalil, with his Mossad-backed infrastructure, was the besieging army. The target was a man named Yahya Sinwar, the political leader of Hamas in Gaza. A man Mossad had been hunting for years. He was paranoid. He never used a phone. He never used a computer. He communicated only by courier. "We can't get to Sinwar," Erez said. "He's a ghost." But Nidal has to communicate with Sinwar's inner circle. He is the weak link. Khalil's new assignment was not to hack Hamas, it was to hack Nidal. He couldn't use his old tricks. Nidal would see them. He had to use psychology. What did Nidal fear? What did he need? Khalil remembered from his university days. Nidal was brilliant, but also arrogant. He despised the sloppy work of the Qassam's IT grunts. Khalil decided to exploit that arrogance. He wouldn't attack Nidal. He would help him. He identified a low-level Hamas server that Nidal hadn't cleaned yet. Khalil hacked it, but not to steal anything. He hacked it to fix it. He rewrote the server's security protocols, leaving behind a piece of code that was both elegant and incredibly secure. Then, he left a comment in the root code, a place only another high-level admin would ever look. "Pishin, your firewall on the finance server is a disgrace. You're leaking data. Check port 4415. Z." He signed it Zid for zero, a direct challenge. He watched. Within an hour, Nidal's digital signature appeared on the server. He saw the comment. He analyzed Khalil's code. He was intrigued. A digital conversation began. Two enemies communicating in the comments of server logs. Nidal, "Who is this?" Khalil, "A student who respects the art." Nidal, "You are not Hamas. You are not 8200. Their work is clumsy." Khalil, "I am just someone who hates bad code. Your network is a mess." For a week they dueled. Khalil would find a vulnerability and show Nidal. Nidal would patch it and show Khalil a flaw in his logic. It was a high-stakes game of digital chess. Erez was nervous. "What are you doing, Khalil? You're training him." "I'm gaining his trust," Khalil said. "He's arrogant. He thinks he's found a peer. He's about to show me his masterpiece." Khalil was right. Nidal, proud of his new secure communication hub for Sinwar's inner circle, couldn't resist bragging. "Nidal, you think you are clever, but you will never touch this. My new system is perfect, air-gapped, analog relay, unhackable." He sent a small, redacted snippet of the system's architecture. It was a boast. It was also the mistake Khalil had been waiting for. The system wasn't truly air-gapped. To get information in, like operational orders, it used a secure terminal that was, for a few seconds each day, connected to a printer in a Hamas office. The printer's firmware, that was the door. Khalil had his entry point. He didn't tell Erez. This was personal. Khalil's target was now the printer. It was a mundane, overlooked piece of hardware in an office in Khan Yunis. But to Khalil, It was the gateway to Sinwar. He crafted his payload. It was his masterpiece, a tiny 12-kilobyte file. It would disguise itself as a printer driver update. It would be delivered via a compromised website for a paper supplier that the Hamas office used. The payload would sit dormant in the printer's memory. The next time Nidal's perfect system connected to the printer to upload a report, the payload would piggyback on the data stream, reverse injecting itself into the air-gapped network. Once inside, it wouldn't steal data. It wouldn't crash the system. It would do one simple thing. Every time the name Sinwar was mentioned in a message, the payload would corrupt a single random byte of the encrypted message. The messages wouldn't be destroyed. They would just be wrong, unintelligible, corrupted. Erez was furious when he found out. Corrupt data? We need intelligence, Khalil. We need to know where Sinwar is. You want to catch Sinwar? Khalil shot back. Sinwar is a ghost. He lives on paranoia. What happens when his most secure network fails? When his orders to his commanders come out as garbage? He will panic. He will move. He will do something stupid. He will use a phone. Erez stared at him. The sheer, malicious brilliance of it. It wasn't cyber warfare. It was psychological warfare. He was attacking the trust in the system. Do it, Erez said. Khalil deployed the payload. It was delivered. It installed. It waited. The next day, the trap sprung. An order from Sinwar to a unit in Rafah was sent. Khalil's payload triggered. The message arrived at the Rafah command post as a string of corrupted nonsense. They tried again. Corrupted. Panic. The Hamas high command believed their unhackable system was compromised by 8200. Nidal, in a frenzy, couldn't find the breach. The breach was the data itself. For 24 hours, Sinwar was blind and mute. His entire command structure was frozen. And just as Khalil predicted, Sinwar made a mistake. He needed to communicate with his top deputy, urgently. He did something he hadn't done in 5 years. He borrowed a clean phone from one of his bodyguards and made a 30-second call. It was all 8200 needed. The call was not encrypted. The signal was caught. A Shabak, Shin Bet triangulation team got a lock. The feed went live in the Mossad command center where Erez and Khalil were watching. A grainy black and white infrared feed from a Zeke, Hermes 450 drone, a residential building in Khan Yunis. We have him, Erez whispered. The target is confirmed. A kinetic action was authorized. Khalil watched the monitor. He saw the building. He saw the flicker as the missile left the drone. He watched the building dissolve into a cloud of white-hot dust. Target eliminated, a voice said over the comms. Good work, Zero, Erez said. Khalil stood up. He walked to the bathroom. He turned on the sink and he was violently sick. He had just assassinated a man from his computer chair. He was, truly, a weapon. The assassination of Yahya Sinwar, though never officially confirmed and often denied, sent Hamas into disarray. The internal hunt for the traitor was brutal. Nidal Amer, the brilliant professor, was reportedly questioned and was never heard from again. Khalil had not only killed Sinwar, he had signed his old mentor's death warrant. Khalil, Zero, was Mossad's greatest success and its most dangerous liability. He knew everything. He knew Mossad's cyber warfare architecture. He knew their methods. He knew their targets. He was a Palestinian who had systematically dismantled the Hamas leadership. If he ever walked free, if he was ever captured, if he ever spoke, the damage would be catastrophic. Erez found him on the balcony, staring at the sea. Khalil hadn't logged into his terminal in 3 days. It's over, isn't it? Khalil said, not looking at him. Your work here is done, Erez said carefully. So what happens to me? A bullet in the back of the head? A boating accident? Erez sighed. He sat in the chair opposite Khalil. We are not Hamas, Khalil. We don't discard assets that way. We protect them. Protect me? Or protect yourselves from me? Both, Erez admitted. You are a hero of Israel, a hero who can never be named, a hero who, for his own safety, can never exist again. Erez laid out the plan. It was the standard package for a burned, high-value asset. Rasha is safe. Her recovery is complete. She is being enrolled in a boarding school in Switzerland. She will be given a new identity, a new citizenship. She will be told that you, her brother, found a high-paying classified job with a European tech firm, and that this is the only way to keep her safe. And me? You get a new life too, a new face, a new name, a new citizenship. We have an account for you in Cyprus, $5 million. You can go anywhere, do anything, except be Khalil. Khalil finished. Except ever see my sister again. Not in person, Erez said. It's too dangerous. For her. If Hamas, or what's left of them, ever found you, they would use her to make you talk. This is the only way to keep her, and you, truly safe. He was being erased. His payment for saving his sister's sight was his own identity. His reward for winning the war was exile. I have no choice, Khalil said. It wasn't a question. No, Erez agreed. You made your choice the day you sent me that file. The transition was fast. The man known as Khalil al-Hazari underwent minor facial surgery, a broken nose reset, a slight change to his chin. He was given a Canadian passport under the name Adam Baker. He spent 2 months in a different safe house, learning his new legend, his fabricated backstory. He was a freelance data security consultant from Toronto. He was an orphan. He had no family. Erez was there for his final debriefing. He handed Adam the passport and a ledger for a bank in Limassol. You're free, Adam, Erez said. Go live a good life. You've earned it. Did I? Khalil, Adam asked. You did what you had to, Erez said. You chose a life. Your sister's. Will I ever hear from you again? No, Erez said. You will never hear from me, or anyone like me, ever again. As of this moment, Zero does not exist. Erez left. Khalil was driven to Ben Gurion Airport and put on a plane to Cyprus. The final scene of this operation is not a safe house or a war room. It is a whitewashed apartment overlooking the harbor in Limassol. Adam Baker sits on his balcony. It's warm. The sea is a dazzling postcard blue. He is rich. He is safe. He is utterly, completely alone. He has a new computer, the best money can buy. He opens a terminal. His fingers, the fingers that toppled a regime, hover over the keyboard. He starts to type, and stops. The code is gone. The anger, the boredom, the drive that made Zero. It was all tied to Khalil. Khalil was a product of the cage, of the frustration, of the concrete walls of Gaza. Adam Baker is a product of nothing. He is a fabrication. He looks at his hands. They are the hands of a ghost, a weapon now returned to its sheath. Mossad had won. They had turned a frustrated young man into a precision instrument. They had neutralized their enemy, protected their state, and cleaned up the operation. It was a perfect success. But for the weapon itself, there is no after. There is no victory. There is only the silence that comes when the war is over, and the realization that you were not the soldier. You were just the bullet. And you have already been fired.